Dragon Ball Super is one of the worst animes I've ever had the displeasure of watching. GT is way better than Super. It is not even close. Like, I don't even know why people try to argue that GT is somehow worse than Super. At least GT had interesting new concepts and ideas. Dragon Ball Super, on the other hand, feels like a rehash of things I've already seen, and it leaves the anime feeling very uninspired. To make myself clear, I'm gonna be talking about the anime. I'm not even gonna lie, I have not read that garbage manga. Now, I'm a pretty big Dragon Ball fan. It's pretty much a classic at this point. As one of my first animes, it'll always hold the soft spot in my heart. But sadly, Dragon Ball Super is not it. This might be a hot take, but personally, I'm okay with series ending. As long as the story ends in a satisfying way, I don't really care if it ends. And I feel like the original Dragon Ball manga ended in a pretty good place. But then we got GT. Now, GT has its problems, but it's okay. It wraps up some loose ends, and it's an interesting story, so I wasn't too upset about it. And I feel like it concludes in a satisfying way. Then we got Dragon Ball Super. Now, I actually liked the Battle of Gods movie. When I saw it, I was actually kind of excited to continue this series. But then that's where the trouble starts. I do not like Resurrection F that much. I won't lie, as a teenager, I was excited to see it in theaters. I think everybody was excited to see more Dragon Ball content, but Resurrection F is not a good movie. This movie relies on an edifice of nostalgia. You're supposed to watch this movie and go, oh, it's Frieza. Remember Frieza? He was really cool. And I mean, I guess the movie was kinda cool. It was basically just them fighting for an hour, which is fine. That's what I expect from a Dragon Ball movie. But it never really hit the emotional nodes of the original Dragon Ball series. This is one of Dragon Ball Super's main problems. It relies on nostalgia rather than telling an original story. They'll constantly have moments that call back to the original series. It's like, oh yeah, remember when Dragon Ball was good? Yeah, I remember that. Half of the stuff in Dragon Ball Super is just reused ideas. Oh, let's bring Future Trunks back. Let's bring Frieza back. Let's bring Broly back.
Let's bring Frieza back again.
The series just lacks creative ideas. There are some interesting concepts in Dragon Ball Super that might have been interesting, but they were sadly left unexplored. Oh, there's a bunch of different universes and a bunch of different new characters? Why don't we explore none of them? The first two arcs are just the movies redone in the anime, but worse. Like, how lazy can you get? And the original arcs aren't even that good. The Goku Black arc might be the worst Dragon Ball arc I've ever seen. It's boring, slow, and full of plot holes. The idea of an evil Goku has already been done before and is kind of stupid, honestly, but you know what? I could go with it if it was interesting, but it's not. The explanation we get for it is stupid. He's just a guy that switched bodies with Goku because he saw some cavemen hitting each other with rocks. Okay. If you hate mortals so much, why do you even want to switch bodies with Goku in the first place? Wouldn't that be like Hitler switching bodies with Jonah Hill? It doesn't really make a lot of sense. There's no tension because, honestly, I don't even really care about Future Trunks' timeline. It's already kind of destroyed. All the characters that I cared about are dead, and there's only like 12 humans left, so who even cares if it gets blown up at this point? The lack of tension has always been a problem in Dragon Ball, but it's really bad in Super. There's a guy that wants to destroy the whole universe. Oh, that's fine. We can just have this cat guy erase him from existence. Like, could you imagine how much worse the Boo arc would be if there was just a guy in the background that could easily kill Boo in 5 seconds the whole time? The Tournament of Power is even worse. They introduced like 100 characters and somehow I didn't care about a single one of them. The Tournament of Power, more like the Tournament of Power Nap, because that arc had me falling asleep. The only reason people liked that arc is because of the ending fight. Somehow they made the existing characters worse in this anime. The flanderization of these characters is insane. Vegeta is pretty much just a basic rival character. Gohan is a nerd. Piccolo is there, I guess. And the rest are kind of just irrelevant, I'm not even gonna lie to you. But the worst case has to be Goku. The writers of Dragon Ball Super turned Goku into Luffy. In the original Dragon Ball, Goku wasn't smart, but he wasn't like a complete idiot. In Dragon Ball Super, he's brain dead. He's somehow more dumb than when he was a child. Like, are you telling me Goku, who literally has godlike strength and has fought some of the strongest beings in the universe, lost because he got shot by a laser beam? In some cases, he's so stupid he actually becomes the villain. He almost gets all 12 universes destroyed because he wants to fight. That was Cell's motivation. Dragon Ball Super Goku is literally Cell. Like, Goku is supposed to be a hero. This is the guy that sacrificed himself to save the whole planet. Like, Goku definitely did have his stupid moments in Dragon Ball, but he wasn't this stupid. But you know what? I could forgive all of that if the show didn't look like complete dookie. Somehow, the anime from the 90s looks 1,000 times better than this anime. Like, I guess the animation looks better later in the series, but for the most part, it's pretty boring to watch. They even censored a lot of the gore. One of the cooler parts about the original Dragon Ball is how violent it was. But here it feels like the whole thing is just toned down. That's what Dragon Ball Super feels like as a whole, just a toned down version of the original Dragon Ball. Like, it definitely had some cool moments, but nothing really that reached the level of original Dragon Ball or even GT. If you're a Dragon Ball fan and you just don't really care, that's fine. But I don't know, I just find it boring to watch. Still better than One Piece though.
Kula, Uliza no brother. Mukas Goku o Mirogashi. Kula, Uliza no brother.